So if you could just start by introducing yourself and telling us why you're here today.
Okay. I'm Amy, I'm 17, I go to college, I'm studying for my A-levels and I'll be going to university in September. I'm here today to see Jeremy Corbyn speak after the launch of the manifesto in Bradford. I've seen Jeremy speak before and he is easily the best speaker that I've ever seen. This will be the 5th time that I've seen him speak, and it gets better every single time, especially after the manifestos come out earlier, because now we've got concrete policies that we can see and we can work with that are all fully funded, and I'm here to show my support for that.
So what do you think of the notion that's being pushed around that Jeremy is unelectable?
The notion that Jeremy is unelectable, to me, is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Jeremy was elected the first time round as leader with the biggest mandate we've ever seen for a leader to be elected. Yesterday in Leeds there was a 24 hours notice that Jeremy would be giving a speech, and over 3,000 people turned up. Who else could attract a crowd like that? Jeremy represents a seismic shift in politics since post-Thatcher neoliberalism has always taught us that austerity is the only way forward and we must live within our means, but it needn't be this way. And with Jeremy we can see that it can be this way with a manifesto that will pump money back into social services and public services that aren't luxuries but are essentials, with a manifesto that's fully funded through an increase in corporate tax, which would still make us the lowest in the G7. But if money is needed in society, it should come from those who can afford to give it rather than those who have nothing. But that's what we've been taught.
So you said you're 17.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, will you be eligible to vote?
I'll be allowed to vote. My birthday's on the 23rd, so I have 2 weeks when I'm 18, so before the election. So I will be allowed to vote. When I turn 18, I'll be given that knowledge that allows me to be able to vote at the age of 18. Because obviously, at the age of 17, I'm not smart enough to vote.
What do you think of the notion that you can't, 16 and 17-year-olds are old enough to have children, pay tax, work, own houses, but aren't old enough to vote?
It's absolute bogus. The idea, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that if you tell someone because they're not 18, they don't have the knowledge necessary to cast a vote, they will not, well, arguably, they won't look into politics as much. If you give, we saw this with the independence referendum in Scotland, if you give young people a vote, they'll look into the issues. Votes at 16 is a stellar idea. Not only will it make young people more interested in politics, but it'll make better policies for young people.
So, sorry, just 1 minute.
No, it's fine.
So, yeah, what would your message be then to those people who maybe are disenfranchised by the fact that they've been ignored between those years of 16 to 17 and maybe they are 18 but still feel like politics doesn't engage with you?
I would say it's totally understandable for people who are 16 and 17 to feel disenfranchised because they're told that they're not smart enough, they're not experienced enough, they're not clever enough to have a voice, to have a vote. And because that feeds the system and that feeds the status quo, it keeps things how they are. So it's no wonder, I totally sympathise with the fact that 16 and 17-year-olds feel disenfranchised. But now is a chance to change that. Now is a chance to make that change, and Corbyn offers that.